Hello, my name is Valerie McKenzie. On behalf of the Maintenance Enforcement Program and Court Services for the Provincial Department of Justice, I welcome you to this presentation of highlights of the Maintenance Enforcement Program Awareness Campaign. This presentation intends to raise your awareness on the following three aspects. First, considerations in developing and drafting an order for the payment of child support and spousal support. Second, the specific information required to be in a support order provision for the order to be enforceable by the Maintenance Enforcement Program, which I will refer to as the program or MEP throughout this commentary. And thirdly, resources and references to assist you in preparing support orders. To get us started, we will look at some of the resources available because they define both the considerations and the required specific information for an order to be MEP enforceable. MEP has a new website. You are invited to explore all of the information made available on this website, along with the MEP Online features available for clients who are enrolled in the program. There are 4 new fact sheets provided as an overview of the program. You can find these under Resources on the About page of the MEP site or directly by using this link. These fact sheets provide an overview of the program and then cover the division of responsibilities for support payments between the payor, the recipient, and MEP. For drafting MEP enforceable support orders, information is provided on the Lawyers page of the MEP site, which can be accessed in the bar across the top of the site or directly by using this link. The information on the Lawyers page sets out the following: specific requirements for an order to be enforceable by MEP, links to sample provisions found in the forms of the Family Court Rules and Family Division Practice Memorandum, which are located on the Courts of Nova Scotia website. What MEP can and cannot enforce. Quantum of maintenance considerations. The option of utilizing the Provincial Administrative Recalculation Program and where to find more information. The specific requirements for MEP enforceable provisions regarding special or extraordinary expenses of child support, also referred to as Section 7 expenses, being Section 7 of both the provincial and federal child support guidelines. And lastly, the link to the fact sheet that outlines the process and limitations of the program when addressing child support orders with no terminating events. The Parenting and Support Act is the new title of the Maintenance and Custody Act in place since May 26, 2017. This act contains provisions that set out the required content of a support order in Section 34, which reads as follows. An order for payment of support shall specify A. the amount to be paid, B. when payment is to be made, C. where or to whom payment is to be made, D. a breakdown of the amount as between spousal and child support, E. the names and birth dates of the children if child support is ordered, and F. such other information as prescribed by the guidelines, the Family Court Rules, or the Nova Scotia Civil Procedure Rules. In Section 41, the Act also outlines the court's power to require a person to appear before a judge to explain failure to comply with an order, which is in addition to the authority of MEP to enforce under the Maintenance Enforcement Act. Both the federal and provincial child support guidelines set out the information to be specified in a support order in Section 13, which reads as follows. A child support order must include the following information. A. The name and birth date of each child to whom the order relates. B. The income of any spouse whose income is used to determine the amount of child support. C. the amount determined under paragraph 3(1)(a) for the number of children to whom the order relates. D. The amount determined under paragraph 3(2)(b) for a child the age of majority or over. E. The particulars of any expense described in subsection 7(1), the child to whom the expense relates, and the amount of the expense, or, where that amount cannot be determined, the proportion to be paid in relation to the expense, and F. The date on which the lump sum or first payment is payable and the date of the month or other time period on which all subsequent payments are to be made. In contrast to the guidelines, and as noted on the lawyer's page of the MEP website, for a Section 7 provision to be MEP enforceable, it must be a dollar amount and not a percentage or proportion of the expense. As referenced on the MEP website, the Family Division Practice Memorandum provides precedent clauses for support orders in both Form FD03 and FD04. Likewise, the Family Court for the Province of Nova Scotia provides precedent clauses for support orders in Form FC03. These precedent clauses were developed in consultation with the Director of the Maintenance Enforcement Program. The combination of these resources gives a clear picture of the required elements in an MEP enforceable support order, which can be summarized using the 5 W's approach for MEP purposes: who, what, when, where, and why. Who represents who pays the support and who receives it. What is reflected in the amount or quantum, whether it is child support or spousal support, whether it is a lump sum or periodic payments, and any applicable conditions of eligibility and/or terminating events, and whether the maintenance obligation may be revived once it ends. When is reflected in when the payments start, and the frequency of payments in the case of periodic payments, for example, the date it is due each month for monthly child support payments. Where is reflected in where the payments are made, for example, through the Maintenance Enforcement Program. And why sets out the purpose of the payment, for example, who it is for, the name of the child, and any costs or fees solely related to support, and finally, the applicable legislation. There are many resources for lawyers and their clients. These include those provided on the last 2 slides of this presentation. We have already explored some of the features of the MEP website. The Family Law of Nova Scotia website is a very popular one, which is the collaborative venture of the Nova Scotia Departments of Justice and Community Services, Legal Information Society of Nova Scotia, Nova Scotia Barristers Society, Nova Scotia Legal Aid, the Nova Scotia branch of the Canadian Bar Association, and the Capital District Health Authority Mental Health Program. The Courts of Nova Scotia website is also a mainstay for lawyers and laypersons. It provides access to court rules and forms, including interactive PDF forms and Word versions which can be downloaded. Specifically, the court order precedents mentioned earlier, FD03, FD04, and FC03, all can be accessed on this website. And don't forget that the Courts of Nova Scotia website and the Family Law of Nova Scotia website are also active on Facebook and on Twitter. The federal government also provides information on enforcement of child and spousal support orders, including when the matter proceeds interjurisdictionally between the provinces and territories within Canada and internationally between Canada and other countries. The Nova Scotia Barristers Society provides updates and information regarding provincial legal news, including notifications on changes to the laws in Nova Scotia. The Legal Information Society of Nova Scotia provides a wide variety of subjects for the layperson to obtain general legal information. This site also provides links for the Lawyer Referral Program and other resources. This concludes the presentation of highlights of the Maintenance Enforcement Program Awareness Campaign. We hope you have found it to be informative and another resource for creating MEP enforceable support orders. Thank you for your interest and time in considering these points and comments.